Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Um, and yeah, thank you very much. I hope you like the intro. It's a little something I put together. Um, but yes, welcome to this week's episode of the morning show. I have a really good show for you guys today. I'm going to bring on in just a moment my guest for this week. We have seen him in the chats around and hanging out, and we've also seen some of his art being promoted on Twitter and all the other social media. And we're going to get today into talking about his book. We're going to talk about his art. I'll show you some clip of some of his artwork, and then hopefully, I'm very highly possible we'll get into some drawing towards the end of the stream. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you're strapped in and ready to enjoy the show. And let's bring out my guest for today, the great Odin Dasko. Hey, what's going on, man?
Good morning,
How you
Elliot. Doing good. Thanks for the round of applause. I like that.
Yeah. I can get them to clap anytime you like, man. Let me do another round for them.
Do one. Yes, it's a good morning. I like your intro too. That was pretty cool, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I put that together last night or yesterday towards the evening because I've been getting comments from a bunch of people like, "Hey, man, you need to do some kind of intro for the show." And I think it'll really help it out. And I mean, that's what I got for now. Hopefully, I can do something different for later on. But this is a low budget show, so
yeah. Well, it looked cool, man, and I love seeing your artwork. So that part was really awesome. But no, it looked great, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I really
very happy to be here this morning, man.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I'm also excited to have you on and talk about your art and talk about your book. And I've been watching. I watched your recent stream with Telepathic Bunny, and found some interesting bits in the video. And yeah, so I just want to jump into all that good stuff and then see what else the chat can bring to the show. And speaking of the chat, we have a lot of people commenting today. So we
coming
got
in hot and heavy.
Odin is in the chat and on this panel, so that's
at least at the beginning.
Yeah. And 80s is here. What's going on, 80s, man?
My brother.
I'm a big fan of 80s, and Mr. Matt Barr, how you doing, Matt? What's going on, man? Good to see you this morning.
I'm a great artist. Good to see you, Matt.
Yeah. His artwork on that logo for Frog G knocked me out, man. It was really good stuff.
Yeah.
It was really good stuff. He's an excellent artist. And
for sure.
Tarks9 is here. What's going on? How you doing? Good to see you.
Good morning, my good friend.
80s. Hail, Matt. Hail, Tarks. Mr. James is here. Mr. Broken Compass Comics. How you doing? What's going on, man?
Good morning.
Mr. Adam is here. How you doing, man? What's going on, Adam? Good morning.
Yeah.
And also for Adam, congratulations. He won the Shane Davis art contest with his piece for
as he should. That piece
glorious. That piece was amazing. I was tripping on that because on the show right after the announcement, we were looking at the art and then talking about his excellent skill with light and manipulation and color, and we talked saturation on the skin and stuff like that. Really good stuff. And yeah, he deserved that win. Really good stuff. Really good for him. And Hale. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Good. So yeah, thank you to everybody in the chat. If you have any questions, please be sure to drop them in there, and then I'll try to my best to get to them because I have questions of my own. So hopefully I can get to asking. So first I'd like to start, and I don't know if I could I want to ask this question, but I don't want to be disrespectful or anything because
I love questions start like that.
Yeah. Because you're okay. The question is this: is Odin your name? Like, because is that a nickname or is it really?
That is my birth name. Yes.
It's your birth name.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Nice.
So my mom and dad compromised. My dad wanted to name me Odin. My mom wanted me to have a normal name, and so my middle name is Thomas. So there you go. Now everyone knows my full name, Odin Thomas Dasko.
Nice. Yeah, because I hear the name, I see the name, and I don't know if that's like a nickname, if that's what the people called you, like your friends called you, or family name.
It's convenient that it worked out. It was pretty cool.
It's an awesome name. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to be called Odin? You can use that for your art and be like, I'm the all father of art. Like it's an excellent name to have. And But yeah, that was that was my first question.
Just get that out of the way. No, that's not disrespectful at all. That's well, and I think fair enough, because it could be like, hey, I just wanted to call myself Odin, why not? But
yeah,
no, it worked. I used to be a musician. It worked really well for that. So.
Exactly. Yeah, that was also another bit that I caught on T Bunny's stream. You also play music. You're also a musician apart from being an artist.
Yeah, well, I hesitate to call myself a musician. I'm a singer, and like I played with musicians. And I was like, I sang. Okay. But yeah, no, I did that most of my adult life, was performing heavy metal lead singer. So
nice.
Which is a lot of fun, but it's a young man's game, and I'm moving on.
Yeah, because it's really an interesting thing that I've seen reoccurring in comics in the indie comic scene with you, for example, that you're into music. Also, Joe Sontag from the Art and Stuff channel. He's also into music. And I'm pretty sure there's a few others that are also into metal and have been in bands and have performed. And it's always fascinating because it goes to, I believe that it goes to show that people in CG and just in indie comics in general are innately artistic, in the sense that it's not just music. And it's not just it's not just comics, but it's also music, and it's also writing, and also in other senses also. So that's really cool, really cool.
Yeah, we're just creative people who love to create stuff. Art in general. Yeah, music being a whole different medium, but for sure. But
nice,
it's art, it's creation. Yeah.
And is there a particular singer or artist that music wise that influences you, or that had influenced you when you were doing the music?
Oh, tons. That could be a whole nother subject, but I'll just name the one that was probably the biggest influence was Mike Patton. He was the singer for Faith No More and Mr. Bungle and tons of other projects. The guy was just a creative genius and a uber talented singer, vocalist. I say he's a true vocalist because he could do just about anything with his voice. So yeah, he was probably my main bar to try to hit as far as like creativity, performance. He had it all. He was badass. So yeah.
And when you say Mike Patton, and when you say that he could use his voice for like, you're saying not just singing the lyrics, but also like doing some things like making noises like scatting, like in jazz.
Like, yeah, you could do that. He was really good at that. He also did a lot of voice work for like video games and stuff, just like doing creature noises. I think he did all the zombie noises on I Am Legend, the Will Smith movie. Yeah. Sweet. So yeah, he was just like super versatile, and then he'd throw that into the music and make really cool soundscapes. But he could also just sing. He did a lot of like lounge type singing and stuff, and it's like that guy could do whatever he wanted. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. And so how did the jump go from music to art? Or is art something that you've always been doing?
Yeah, art was actually predates singing pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all through growing up. And I think a lot of artists, I'm sure you're probably in that same boat. You kind of just been doing it your whole life. And, you're kind of that kid in class everybody goes to when they need something drawn, like, yeah, we know who can draw and who can't, so you just grow up that way. And I always thought I would make comic books. I mean, from the time I was a little kid, I was like, that's probably what I'll end up doing with my life when I'm older, Mm-hmm. And obviously life has all these twists and turns. I didn't know music was going to be a big thing, but when that happened, it was a lot of fun. Like music was a lot of fun, but it takes so much energy, especially if you're on the road and like performing a lot. There was no time to make comics and things like that. So I did that while it lasts, but like I said, it's kind of a young man's game. So
yeah, definitely.
Now I'm a little older. Now I got to go back to my first love, and we're going to make that happen now. So.
Yeah, that sounds great, man. It sounds awesome. And what artists or what comics or what things in that initial period when you were younger, what comics in those times influenced you and pushed you into doing art? What would you say were some of your biggest influences back in when you were younger?
When I was younger, yeah. I'll say one that was like probably one of the biggest revelations was Lobo's back. So I was already getting into art, and it was kind of around the Image boom and all of those Image comics in the early days. I was just like a total fanboy for all of that. And even before they started Image, all those same artists, I was buying everything they did in Marvel. And but I remember I started getting into the character Lobo. I thought he looked super cool, but I hadn't read anything. And I went to my local comic shop, and they had Lobo's back on the wall. And I it was up there with like all these like really expensive comics, and so I thought it was like this really expensive comic. I didn't know anything, and so I went in with like $50. You know, as a kid, that was like a ton of money, and I'm like, "Hey man, how much for that Lobo's back up there?" You know, I was ready to buy it. I'm like, "I hope it's not more than 50." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's like $5." I was like, "Oh," but I took it home. The cover that Simon Bisley did is just Lobo's back. It was one of the coolest things I ever saw, and I was sold on that cover. And then at the time, I was drawing interiors I was trying to be really clean and precise, like because I was reading a lot of Jim Lee and Scott Williams. Yeah. And I saw how Scott Williams would ink, and I was like, "That's how you do it." And then read that Lobo book, and Simon Bisley's interior art was so crazy and wild that I was like, okay, that opened up a whole nother realm where you don't have to be so clean and still make badass images and tell the story. So yeah, that was probably one of the biggest ones. Pitt, Dale Keown's Pitt #1, especially.
Nice.
What Jim Lee did with Deathblow, and the backside of Deathblow was Cybernary, Nick Manabat. That was some of the coolest stuff I'd ever seen. So
yeah, they did. Joe a while back did an appreciating art on Manabat. Really good stuff. Really good.
Yeah, and a tragic story, but man, he was so good. And I loved everything that was like dark, you know. So I really liked all that dark imagery, and that's why I liked Pitt #1 the most, because that one was the darkest.
Yeah, and also speaking of Manabat, because he's got a strong use of darks and blacks. There's a lot of that in your art, also. Like I see a lot of that in the Unconditional Show, which is really good, really cool stuff.
Thank you, Ming.
Sweet, man. Yeah, let me catch up with the chat here. Sugar Chris is here. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, Sugar? Good to see you this morning.
Yeah, Adam says thanks, guys. It's well deserved, man. Well deserved. And,
for sure.
Sugar Chris, he just calls himself Odin to pick up chicks. Yeah, that's like a really cool name. I'm jealous. He plays a mean skin flute.
Oh, come on now.
What are you talking about? J-Bot's here. What's going on, J-Bot?
Good morning, J-Bot.
Appreciate you coming by, man.
Yeah, hung out with him last night.
Yeah. Man, I wish I could catch those streams, man. You guys hang out at night, and that's usually when I'm not unavailable. But yeah, man, good stuff.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said about this one. I'm like, check me out in the morning. They're like, that's early. I'm like 11 o'clock Eastern. I mean, man. I'm in Pacific time, so it's a little earlier for me. So it's like 8 o'clock. Man, but I'm like, it's not that early.
Hold on. And then 80 says the Sugar already tagging people later will say he was bullied. What's going on, Matt? All the cool kids are here. Yeah, trying to round up all the cool kids, man.
I believe you are right.
Oh, my friend Tattoo Biker Unexplained. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, great channel. He reads these horror stories and stuff like that. Just experiences people have. A great channel. Nice. I love it.
I have not been bullied on the stream yet. 80s. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep, or give it time. Let's see what the chat says.
I don't know if Mo's awake yet. So.
Nice. And then Apex is here also. What's going on, Apex? How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Lobo is great. Yeah. Bisley is a beast. Yeah. Odin was talking about keeping his line work clean, and then artists that get messy with it. That's a conundrum that I'm still suffering with, because my initial reaction when I'm doing art is like try to make it as clean as crisp as possible, because I see that most artists do that, but people have been recommending me, no, just go with it. Just if there's a mistake, leave it, and just it's part of it. It's part of the art, and so I'm always like fighting with that. And
it's a hard fight until I mean, it's still hard for me, because like I'll see your stuff and and just more clean stuff, and I'm like, man, now I'm getting so sloppy now. But it was Bisley, Jay Lee in the early days. Like his stuff's gotten cleaner lately, but in the early days he was just wild. And then Sienkiewicz, like those three were just like crazy as far as like it would bother me at first, like their line work was like bleeding outside of the character. I'm like, how do you do that? Wouldn't you? And then I'm like, but it looks awesome, so go with it.
Nice. Yeah, and Replicant is here. How you doing, man? What's going on? Good morning. Good to see you.
Another great artist. Good morning, Replicant.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Replicant's work. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And he's got a very raw feel to his art, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And but yeah, speaking of art, now I'm going to show off for the people that are watching the show that may not know you, may not know who you are. I'm going to show off some art so they can see exactly who Odin is and why he's here and why we're talking about his art. So let's take a look at some of his artwork. Let me see if I can. Sorry, pull this video up really quick. Nice, yeah.
Those are all like super zoomed in too, so I'm like, oh, now I see all those mistakes I was talking about.
No, it's good stuff, man. I'm here with yeah, I agree with Adam. Good stuff, man. I really like it, and I picked this piece for the thumbnail because this immediately caught my attention. I'm sorry for the background noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this piece here that I used for the thumbnail, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Really excellent command of blacks and whites, and yeah, excellent work.
Yeah, and this is traditional. It takes a long time to put all that black in there.
Yeah.
You do it.
Hey, I have
it's like bucket fill it, and but yeah, doing traditional. I was like, here we go. Yeah. Pull out the big truck.
Yeah,
that's actually a splash page from Unconditional Shove.
Yeah, this looks great. And so this is from your comic. And could you tell us a little bit about your comic? What is this Unconditional Shove about?
Yeah, for sure. So Unconditional Shove is an anthology style book. It's going to have 2 stories every issue. And this first one's going to be over 80 pages. It's going to be a pretty good sized book.
There's 2 stories every issue?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be back to back. I did that on purpose because anthology style, I wanted some of them to be kind of serious and some of them to be a little more campy and fun. But I thought if I did that one story, one issue, and then the next one was kind of like one was serious, and then the next time people got the book, they're like, wait, now this is like trying to be fun and tongue in cheek. It's like if I just do that both times, then we'll cover both bases and not surprise anyone. But the first this particular image is from a story called Monsters Exist. That's the first story in the book, and it is basically about how there's like eldritch beings, beast monsters. They're trying to invade our natural world, and they're doing it through the minds and dreams of a particular group of young people. And the way that they figure to solve this riddle is because they're going to become manifest in our world if we don't stop them. They say the way to fight these monsters is through VR, virtual reality technology, and head those monsters off at the pass before they become real in our world.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so it's like so they're injecting themselves into a virtual reality where they fight these monsters.
Absolutely. In the dreams. So they're actually going into these young people's dreams to fight monsters with mixed results.
Nice.
Highly mixed results, but yeah.
And what was your influence for doing something like this? Why did you head in this direction and not do a superhero comic? Like what captured what did you like about these kinds of stories that attracted you to doing this?
Well, there's several reasons. Like I've always loved superhero comics, but it's kind of not something I want to create, more or less. And then the anthology thing actually came from I didn't want to make a ongoing, like I kind of wanted to make a new universe every time, every story. I thought that would be fun. It would keep me from getting bored with drawing the same people and the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, it'll be fun to create, like go into a new universe. So I have a introduction character, a character who introduces each story, kind of like a crypt keeper.
Nice.
And his name is Vidon the Beholder. And he is just an interdimensional being, kind of like the Watchers in Marvel, who he just sees things. Exactly. And what he sees, he starts sharing with all of us. So he sees all these different realities and dimensions, and brings us the most entertaining stories. So
nice. Yep. Yeah, I like that idea actually, because I'm actually thinking of doing the same thing with my book. Like I was thinking of like doing the story that I'm working on, just having it like a one and done type thing, because there's like so much out there to draw. So many things, so many stories and things to work on. And
so this one here, though, real quick, this is a whole different thing. Yeah. So there's a group of different creators is creating a book of public domain properties.
Oh, nice.
So my friend, good friend James is doing one that's a crossover of Winnie the Pooh and Cthulhu.
Nice.
Cthulhu. And I saw his whole script and some of the artwork being done by Big Boy Robo, which is amazing.
Oh, nice.
And then I was doing Coal of Atlantis is my story. And this is the first opening page. It's actually going to be written in poem. And it's a story of the Mirrors of Tuzanthun, which is an old Cole story. But it's the first page. The first set of poetry will be on that scroll. And then each page is going to have a different feel. But yeah, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between my book, wrapping that up and doing this. So it's kind of fun to keep, again, kind of the same thing, like not focusing too much on one thing. I can always like have something fresh to work on. And yeah, this has been fun. It's only 6 pages each because it's lots of different creators. So,
yeah, that sounds like fun. Interesting stuff. Really good. I found all of this artwork on your Twitter feed, and I immediately jacked it because the art is really good. The art is really good. I like the inking. I like your inking style. It's really great. And and yeah, it's awesome stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've seen some of your this one. Skip Edwards, if you ever want this piece, it's yours. He won this.
Here you go, Skip.
My first drawing of James's book, Magnificent Bastards.
And, here goes the walrus.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Like, oh, my walrus. That's Lucy. She's beautiful. I drew her extra beautiful. Yeah, his book's still in demand right now, so you can pick it up. I mean, I highly suggest everyone should. It's an amazing book. So,
which one? Magnificent Bastards.
Magnificent Bastards. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about Skip's book. Because Skip.
Skip's books looks great too. Which one's that called? But I love his inking style, man.
Yeah, he uses a brushwork, digital brushes, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's so.
Yeah, it looks good.
So good. Yeah, I really dig his style.
Is this also from the story? This piece right here, is this also from the story of the monsters?
Yeah, this is actually page 1 of Unconditional Shove.
Oh, nice.
This is the opening page. We introduced to a monster. She actually, that little baby doll, or that not.
That's really creepy.
Not so little baby doll gets even creepier.
That's really scary
as the dream goes on. But this awesome. Guy here, this guy with the fangs and the claws, that's Vidon. That's the guy who introduces our stories every time.
Sweet.
Yeah,
and you're saving this scroll space here for the text?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I decided to use a double dip on the scroll thing. I'm like,
that's great. Oh, that's great. That's great. It's a good way to set up the story and let the reader know that this is a tale, from.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Fun. Scrolls are fun.
Yes. Yeah, and that's actually one of the questions that I wanted to get into next, because you've posted a lot of your art, a lot of the pages on your social, and I'm wondering, are you afraid of like giving too much of the story away?
Nah. I know a lot of people play it really close to the chest, but I'm trying to sell something here.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I've said this before. I'm like, if you can piece together the story from the images I'm putting out, good luck. Like that's awesome. Like I know nobody can.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just trying to entice people. I'm like, okay, here's another image that I drew. But there's no lettering. There's no, I think it builds more intrigue than it does spoil. Give spoilers. So,
exactly.
Yeah. I know a lot of other people are like, well, I don't want to give away too much. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just trying to build as much intrigue as I can so I can sell more books, So
Exactly. Because normally I see, like, for example, 1 or 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 or 5 at the most, but you have like almost near 10 pages of art. And I'm going to go through all of it because I want
well, I mean, you can see almost every page I've drawn on Instagram. So
that is true. Yeah. Yeah, so
this is fun one to draw.
Be sure to follow Odin on all his social media. I only have Twitter on the description below, but I will add the Instagram. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I use all the main ones, and nice. and as well do the same for Elliot if you are not.
That would be great. That would be nice. Thank you very much, Odin. I never thought in my life I'd speak to Odin.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, I'm a humble god. It's all
good. There you go. Yeah, making time for us in the morning.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Odin.
I'll just hang out like one of the guys. No big deal.
But awesome work here, man.
Thanks.
This piece I had in the video in the clip, and I like the commands of lights and darks, and then the shadow at the back. Great stuff. Great stuff here.
Yeah, like I said, I like to keep it pretty loose, and but that makes it. I think that adds to the frenetic energy a lot of times, because that's kind of what I got from guys like Sienkiewicz and stuff. Was like, even though my style is nothing like them, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you keep it loose like that, it adds to that energy,
Exactly. That's awesome, man. And speaking of which, you mentioned Sienkiewicz and you mentioned what was and Bisley earlier. Are those artists that are currently, like, right now influencing you? Because, for example, like, I have the people that pulled me into comics, but like now after like drawing and doing so much, there's like a circle of like maybe 5 or 6 artists right now that I normally refer to and look at their artwork just to get either inspiration or to get like a reference on some artistic piece. Are there any artists out there that right now that are influencing you or that you refer to a lot?
Yeah, like so those guys will always be favorites, and I mean, I'm not really specifically looking at their stuff right now. I mean, I follow them both on like social media and stuff. Anytime they post something, I'm like, damn. But no, what I keep handy is so Wrightson right now is probably one of the biggest as far as like
Wrightson.
Looking at it. Yeah, Bernie Wrightson, whatever he, obviously he's passed, but like anything I pull up from him, I'm like, it's awe-inspiring. His line work and his rendering. I keep a giant book of Frazetta paintings nearby for inspiration always. I also have this big book called Monsters that Barry Windsor Smith put out recently, nice. Which I really dig. But I keep that handy just for storytelling inspiration, and I just keep some stuff handy. But yeah, I think Wrightson right now has been the biggest as far as just the one that's been like super motivating and inspiring. You're like, I'm never going to be as good as Wrightson, but he's the man. He's definitely the man.
I love his style. I like how in his art, for example, it could be like normally I'd see when it comes to cross hatching, there's many people, including myself, that try our best, or I try my best to like keep it as organized and as concise as possible throughout the area that you're hatching.
Right.
But Wrightson, for example, he has this immaculate skill to like I don't know. It's like it's described as scratchy. Scratchy, like him and Silvestri, they do these scratchy things, but within the scratch, within the chaos of their lines, he can form shapes and shadows and add values to it, and which is just remarkable.
He was a quill master as well as a brush master, but so I know you're like me. It's more like pens and stuff because I'm not as cool as the old guys who actually use the real tools, you know. But but the thing he would do with the quill is, you know, you could bleed it out and then flick the edge, and like he would create so much
effects with it.
Shape, like basically like forearm muscles or something. Like as the light, you know, as the shape rounds away from the light, it would be darker, and just by his rendering. And that guy was phenomenal. It's just amazing how he could do that.
And also something that I appreciate, that I like about his art, is that the direction of the lines also help identify the shape. And like he'll have like parallel lines going up in one direction, up and down, and then the next object going left to right, and then just that difference can help mark, like, okay, this object is going this way, this object going that way, and just an incredible command of just shapes,
everything.
And
As far as ink work, I mean, in comic books anyway, ridiculous. Awesome. And then I also started getting into some of these. So I'm a big fan of like older anthology horror stories from the like eerie and creepy, and then the older ones like Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Terror and Haunt of Fear. But there's you know, like Wally Wood and Graham Ingalls. These guys were just phenomenal. And
like this is an excellent effect you pull off also with the lines here. And you have the lines like in different curves and stuff like that, but you take a look, you step back, and you can see like you can see there's a shape there. There's depth in certain areas, you know, where the lines are tighter together. You know, there's like, you know, this is great. It's really good. This is the kind of ink work that we don't see anymore, because people would just rather pull off this effect with colors and whatnot. No, but
sure. Well, I remember I was doing like a lot of band posters, and I started using that effect to get this kind of psychedelic look, and then I was like, that would be perfect for Doctor Strange, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And Mortal Kombat piece, sweet.
Yeah, that one was really fun.
And I've noticed that you have these three images. Like you have this one here, and this one.
Yep.
And you also have this one here. Are any of these the possible covers? Do you have variants?
All except this one. But the interesting thing about that image is that's the first Unconditional Shove image I ever drew. And that was the start of the story, was basically like draw something cool and then see if a story comes from it, you know?
Yeah.
And so I drew all that and went, okay, let's kind of create a story. But so that was just a fun image, and then I wrote Unconditional Shove above. But the other two are actually going to be covers. So we're doing a color version and a black and white version, and then each one will have their own cover. So this is the black and white cover.
Yeah.
The other
I'm looking at all this artwork, and I was like, "This is going to be really shame to put color on this." I like the black and white.
Well, you'll you know, never fear. You'll have the option for either. Or both.
Yes.
I'm excited to see it with color, but it was definitely drawn with the idea of like, black and white, because I didn't know if I was going to get color on this or not. You know, once I hooked up with James and Broken Compass, like it opened up some opportunities, and I'm like, and then there was somebody I was talking to, some random person, and they were just saying that they didn't know if I was making black or white. It was just some random person, and they were like, I don't think I would ever buy a book that was black and white. And I'm like,
I love it.
There are people like that, you know. So I went, okay, we'll do both.
No worries. Yeah, it's no problem. You can't please everybody, but the black and white art looks great. I'm a fan of that stuff, and
for sure, me too.
And Broken Compass Comics. How did that meet happen? How did you get together with James?
Well, so on Monday nights, Thursday nights, Saturday night, I stream with 80s Made Consumer on his channel. And,
nice.
It's been fun, and that's actually been a real great doorway to like also like promote what I'm doing. But really just started hanging out, and it's been great. We have fun on our show, but there was one time that James, Broken Compass Comics, he came to pitch his book Magnificent Bastards, and like I always joke, he came to pitch it one night and then he never left. So he became part of the show.
He became part of the show, yeah.
But in that, I keep saying that him and I have found that we speak the same language creatively, and definitely like can ping pong ideas off each other. And there was a lot of things that he's haven't done campaigns before, and in the midst of his own, that I had never done this before. Crowdfunding a book, and or even publishing a book, to be honest. So I'm like, I wanted to have everything done, all of the artwork and everything, because I can't multitask. My brain doesn't work that way. I'm like, okay, and then I can move on to like, okay, setting up a crowdfund, like getting letterers, colorist if need be, and figuring all that out. So it's been nice working with James because he had a little more resources and experience, and then he's also a great writer in his own right. So he can take a look at my stuff and tell me if it sucks, and so we can make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I was actually going to ask about that because we know you as an artist, we know James as a writer, and I was under the impression, or for people that could be under the impression that James is writing this and you're drawing this, but that is incorrect. You're doing the writing for this story yourself. Yeah.
So Unconditional Show is purely my baby. There's definitely going to be some things in the future where him and I collaborate. We have things in the works already that we're talking about, but we're also both have our own thing. He's got Magnificent Bastards, which he doesn't draw, but it's his baby, and this is mine. And because it's anthology style, there's definitely a chance that James will write a story or two here and there, because why not? It'll be fun.
Yeah, nice.
Excellent.
That the anthology idea opens up many doors for him to put a few stories in there also. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So that's probably going to happen. We've talked about that. Talked about lots of things. We have exciting future plans for Broken Compass and
sweet. Awesome. And let me catch up with the chat because it's been going off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Replicant says good morning. This is way back. I don't know if
you we got a lot of chats, which is great. I love it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, his art is indeed amazing.
Thank you, Mr. Tarx9.
And running across you outside of Twitter. Yeah. And then people are sleeping at this hour. Yeah.
Well, that's what they say during your streams sometimes.
Yeah, during history. Yeah, that's also
It's all
for the shout out. Thanks for the shout out. Thank you, Tattoo. Don't be sure to catch your channel. I had no idea.
Yeah,
you had
just super cool, dude. Very supportive. I've appreciated him very much, and Tarx9 as well.
Good Tarx is awesome.
Yeah.
And Apex says I'm clean and messy on Mario. Yeah, it's good to have a combination of both of that. Yeah,
sure, man.
Yeah, Tattoo says amazing art. Hail to the awesome panel. Hail Hojo, how you doing, man? I don't know if you're still around, but
yeah, he was. No, good to see you, Hojo.
I don't know if he's still. Yeah. I like his rough horror style.
Thank you.
Odin knows James says Odin knows how to command the blacks and whites. I agree. Wait,
yes.
He's talking about I just got that.
It's talking about ink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, talking about ink. Oh yeah, okay. Let's talk about ink. That's good. Tattoo says 80s made. Odin. He's the cool guy that makes comics, sings in his car, and hangs out late nights on that cool broadcast with that other guy. Yeah, the other guy.
The other guy.
So much mansplaining in that tweet. I'm just kidding. In that comment. I'm sorry. That dude. Yeah, cool AF. Yeah, definitely. Sugar says Odin has good art talent, but I question what he chooses to draw. I don't know what he's talking about there.
He's probably talking about that drawing I did of him.
Okay.
You can share that if you want. You brought it up, Sugar. I could share that later.
Yeah. No problem at all. He should be spending more time on the Red Dress Diaries rather than Shove. Is that a hidden?
Yeah, that's the Sugar Chris book, the Red Dress Diaries.
Sweet.
And I have one image for it. Maybe I'll share it later. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. and Apex says it reminds me of heavy metal.
Yeah. So sometimes people say it reminds me of this, and I'm like, when they say something like heavy metal, I'm like, hey, yes, I'm doing what I'm trying to do. If that's what it's reminding you of, I'm hitting the mark. Yeah.
Nice. And Apex also says good anthologies are making a comeback. Yeah. Anthologies, I like it because they're short, simple stories. Everybody has a chance to flex their muscles, whether it's art or writing, and it's good to keep the skills sharpened. In the case of putting.
Well, I think
stories,
it's like it's fun to have ongoing characters and stuff like that, but it's also fun to just like get one little story and move on. Like mine is like a glimpse into a universe to see some craziness, and then you're out.
Exactly. Yeah, I also like those stories that push the boundaries of the medium, like like work with panels, work with a dialogue, breaking the fourth wall, like those kinds of things. I like messing with stuff like that, and short anthologies are great for exploring all that, and it's good stuff.
Yep.
And Pula was badass. Yeah, Sugar.
Yeah,
not everyone is into furry degeneracy like you.
I knew Sugar would get the abuse eventually, but he brought it on himself.
He sure did, and then we have receipts. We have the receipts. We can check this back.
Yeah. It's all there. We know it's going.
Of course, Odin would call the waters beautiful. Oh man,
yes.
This is way back. And the Wookiee's here. How you doing? What's going on, Mr. Wookiee?
Hey, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Of course, Odin made time out of his early morning for your show, Ellie. That's how dudes do for each other. That's awesome.
That's how dudes do each other.
Yes. Way to go, Hojo. I wanted to have you guys on a future live stream for Apex After Dark. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if he's talking about me or Hojo. Yeah, Hojo. Yeah. Hojo says just like. Oh yeah, he's talking to Hojo. Yeah, so.
Hojo's good people.
Problem. Yeah, he's awesome. And it says, Hojo, are you guys on Instagram and Twitter? Yeah. As far as Hojo, I think Hojo is. I know he's on Twitter.
Yeah, for sure on Twitter.
We're on there too, and that's the word for that's the word for that panel. Energy. It's hard to sustain it through the inking stage. It is true.
It can be difficult. I typically almost draw with my inks, so I have very, very loose pencils, and then I draw with my inks, and that keeps it really loose.
Yeah, definitely. And Adam says, I think most people want color, and most artists appreciate the black and white. Yeah, I think that's a very accurate assumption there. Because me from the standpoint of learning how other artists execute their art, I'd love to see that black and white stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, they started making those artist editions, and I'm like, this is better than the color version,
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, I would say that.
So much more to learn. There's a bunch of comments here. Thank you very much to everybody out here blowing up.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out too.
Hex, what's going on? Hex, how you doing, Hex? My sister's here. What's going on, Phoebe? How you doing? It's going super late, but I'm here. Hello.
Debbie Elliott's sister. Good to see you.
And yes. And then Sugar says, wait a minute, I didn't see that furry comment. Dang it, 80s. What's going on, Hex?
Always the victim.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Just to continue with some more questions that I had before we jump into the. I'm sorry. Well, before I continue with my next question, I want to share this with you. Speaking of unconditional shove, the campaign is currently has a mailing list, so you can go ahead and sign up, and then you can get trading cards.
Yep. Well, the trading
tell
cards,
us a little bit
if you back. Yeah. So it's the sign up page. Like you have to put your email in, agree to the terms, all that good stuff. But then you also have to confirm it after you get the email, which is always the thing that some people miss. But it's a sign up page, and then. Definitely going to throw in Broken Compass trading cards to the sign up. I'm also thinking of for some of the earlier people who signed up doing something special, which I haven't announced, maybe like some sketch cards or something for like the first 50 or something like that. I don't know if I want to do 50 sketch cards. We'll see. But something along those lines for some of the people who are first in line. Exactly. But if you sign up early and then back the campaign, obviously, then you'll get the trading cards and maybe some other perks. But we're looking to launch and go live with the campaign. I kept telling everyone Halloween, but I'm really thinking either the day before or a couple days before might be better because everyone's busy on Halloween and there's tons of stuff going on. So I'm like, I want to steal the shine from one of the coolest holidays we have. So
Yeah, because the first day, if I'm not mistaken, is a very pivotal for the success of the book. So
yeah, well, I mean, most people get
the first day has to be.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes 50%, 75% of your backers come on that first launch, because if they're interested, they're wanting to be right there, right at the beginning, especially if you make it fun and like do some giveaways or something for some of the first people and stuff like that. So, nice. We're looking at, I think Halloween's on a Monday, so it might be that Saturday night because we normally stream Saturday night, but nonetheless, it'll be right around Halloween because it's a horror anthology, sci-fi horror. It seemed to make sense to make it right around that time. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun time, and we'll definitely do the launch party on 80s Made.
On 80s on a Saturday night, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. That'll be fun. I want to see that.
And I may set up, some other streams to go on, but
yeah, awesome stuff, man. And and actually, you're drawing. You have a story in there about monsters and virtual reality, and then you have another story that's a little bit not as serious, a little bit
right, a little funner,
a little funner. So where does the title come from? Unconditional Shove. Is that referring to something that will happen in the book, or is that a name that you thought that you liked?
Yeah, it's just a name I liked. So when I was in a band, I titled a song "Unconditional Shove," and I thought I like that pun. So it's a pun on unconditional love, right? And I was like, oh, that's a cool pun. And I just liked it. I liked that it was a song title. But then in the early 2000s, I was doing a blog, like a lot of people were. And the title of that was Unconditional Shove. I took that and I, had the domain name for a long time. And it just kind of like stuck. I'm like, it's different. And with it being an anthology, it's not like you have to name it after a character or something. So it's kind of like an overarching theme. And I thought that would be kind of a cool title, different.
Yeah,
and then there's Monsters Exist. That's the one story, and the other one's called With Friends Like These, which is where the scarecrow comes in. So,
I have that picture here, right here. All right, so I think we're ready. I think I have. I'm sorry, I have two more questions, and then we'll get started with the drawing. What are some things? What are some things that you like to draw?
Oh, monsters!
What are some things that you like to draw? Monsters, okay?
Yeah, monsters are really fun to draw. As far as like people keep talking about escapism and comics and stuff like that. It's like the more fantastic and away from what we know, probably the funner it is for me, because so like drawing people in like business suits talking, that'll bore the hell out of me. So I'm not. I like something fantastic, some like craziness, so monsters definitely. And then I've always enjoyed, so like big Keown fan, Bisley fan. I'll draw like overly muscle, everybody, they're like, damn, that guy hits the gym. I'm like, oh, that was like the skinny guy, Nice. Wait till you see the muscular, drawing women is fun, obviously, and try not to go too boob Dan on it,
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, it's really difficult because most of the artwork for women tends to be like very sexualized. And me, I try my best not to be so hypersexualized with the art on women. It is difficult.
Well, and like finding a balance, because like I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they were like, basically when you're drawing superhero characters, you're drawing really attractive naked people almost, because they're wearing like tight clothes, you're showing their musculature, and it's like, yeah, you're drawing like fitness models and bodybuilders in spandex, like, but they have to be attractive, and that's the whole point. So finding that balance. You want women to be attractive, unless you're trying to draw like some haggard old lady or something, but you want your characters, especially your main characters, to be attractive. I think that was one thing that people started getting lost on. I don't know,
with today's representation and stuff. Everybody has to be your standard ordinary person, huh?
That's why I like the escapism thing. Is like, no, we're trying to make the coolest people, it's like, I'm not worried about representing everybody. I'm trying to make the coolest stuff.
Awesome. And what things do you hate to draw? Like, what is just something that oh man, just can't, you just don't want to draw?
Well, I don't mind so much, but depending on what it is, like some backgrounds, like I really like drawing characters. I really like drawing the monsters, stuff like that. Even animals, I like drawing those. But like, some people really like drawing architecture and really go to town on like interior building shots and things like that, or exterior cityscapes and stuff like that. I don't mind doing it, but for one, I don't feel like I'm as good as some people. And then also it feels more tedious, and I just want to get to drawing a monster or something, or a person.
Yeah, exactly.
So typical backgrounds, especially like cityscapes and things like that. A lot of people love that stuff, and it's just
I personally like the challenge of drawing buildings and those things in background. Because I know eventually in one panel or another you have to draw like a background or a room or something, and so I might as well like just try my best to execute it, at least in my case. No, because but yeah, it is tedious. It does take a lot of time, and yeah, recently I've been shying away from doing the backgrounds, but yeah, I definitely hear that. And then Adam says the room for creativity and freedom when drawing monsters is the best. Yeah, it's not the same as drawing environments, animals, people. Yeah. There's
basically
no restriction.
Answered my question there. Is like, what do you like to draw? Well, to draw monsters, you can do whatever you want, and then environments and people, you have to kind of like bring it back to reality.
Exactly.
It has to look real. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sugar says he loves to draw men in dresses, apparently.
Just one.
And then Tattoo says, I love to send Odin a matte black brain bucket and some white paint markers and see what he would charge me to do whatever he wanted to make it sick. Yeah, that sounds great. Man. Also, have you done that before? Have you ever worked on a black piece of paper and then use white out or white pens to draw?
I have a little bit, not like specifically like entire black and everything is white, but that would be a fun exercise.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of artists that have done that, and it's complete. I think I'm under the impression that it would make your brain have to work reversely, because normally we look at the white piece of paper and try to identify the dark black areas, but in this case you'd have to identify the light sources and stuff. So that'd be an interesting.
Think of it like backing up a trailer. Like you get used to backing up in reverse, and then you got a trailer on there, and you have to think the exact opposite.
Yeah. And then Jorge says, yeah, the guy doing the interiors for my book said he loves drawing monsters but hates robots. Everyone is different, although we have some MIB suits. Sorry, Odin.
Yeah. Men in black suits.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's awesome. And like some people love tech, and I don't mind drawing tech. I'm just not the best at it. Like some people are just so good at drawing like all this tech stuff, like backgrounds with wires and all this. And I'm like, man, that looks so awesome. But it just takes a certain kind of mindset. And so I like a little more natural stuff. So that's like the same for me. I'd rather draw a monster than a robot because it's a little more natural. And I can be a little more loose with it. Or robots, you have to be real clean because it's metal. And
exactly,
all the lines have to be sharp. So.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So unless are there any questions in the chat? Well, you can still, people in the chat, you can still post your questions. But I think it's time for us to get down with the art. Let's draw. Let's do some
with the art. So I'm gonna change my camera. I also have to change my light. So I'm gonna
do the same.
my main camera.
Sweet. I'm gonna do the same. Also, I'm gonna readjust and make sure I get situated here so I can show you guys my art. And I'll be working on a fan art piece today. I started this a while back. I haven't had a chance to finish it, so
nice.
I'll see how much I can get done today. But yeah, I'll show you in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm really that's the other thing. Like, I can sit here and talk about my stuff all the time, but I'm like, I love seeing your art, and I'm excited to see what you got going on, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Which one I'm working on?
I appreciate it. And I got so many things here. Give me a second.
All right, switch my camera.
Sweet. Still not there yet. Just give me a second.
You're all good, brother.
I think I will be in just a moment. Get this paper. Let's check out what Odin's drawing. Odin, what are you working on?
I'm working on the next page in that Cole story.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so
sweet.
So as the one had the poem on the scroll, this one's going to be like a stone mason wall, and the poem's going to be in the center. So I've got story move along here, and then I'm working on the bottom half. Cole on his horse, Cole entering the wizard's castle. So this isn't going to have any panels. It's just going to be kind of like a movie poster style, just like collage of imagery. So.
Sweet. I could dig that. It says Apex says, I'm better at drawing old robots from the 40s. Nice.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It says, imagine if Roquefort ever took a crack at doing big mech stuff, he'd put them all out of work. When Odin was talking about doing tech, like the first names that popped up in my head were Roquefort and Joe Ball. He's doing a lot of that stuff on Death. Really great stuff.
Well, and that's the thing, like the way Joe Ball does it is probably more along the way I would do it as far as tech and things like that, because it's so like you said, like dark heavy, but also intense, and just like putting everything into it. I'm like, yeah, what Joe Ball does is crazy. So looking forward to that. So that was one where he was having colors on it, and kind of the same thing where it's like everybody who appreciates black and white is like, what, why? So I'm looking. I got the black and white version of that. Looking forward.
Yeah, I did too. Hopefully, I was debating which one to get, because the colors look good. The line art I wanted to also study. So I ended up with the line art. And here, what I have for the people that are out there curious to see is this fan art piece, and I don't know if you guys can guess who this is. I don't think it's too difficult. If you can guess who that is, but I posted in the comments.
Well, you say it's not difficult, and I probably know it when you say it, but I don't know.
You don't know who it is?
No.
Sweet.
Well, and once it's said, I'll probably be like, oh, well, I should know. But there's probably someone who'll get it, and
yeah.
So don't say yet.
Yeah, Adam had it. Adam got it. And Odin, someday I want to do a collab with you on the YouTube. Said tattooed bike.
Oh yeah, tattooed biker's the coolest, man. And so as far as that matte black with the white paint, I wouldn't. This guy shares pretty much everything I do and tells everybody to check out my stuff. So I try to do the same for him, especially because I actually enjoy his content. But I would do that just for you, man, just because, I'd have to find the time. But other than that, I would totally just do that for you, man. Make a video about it.
And then Apex says, yeah, Kenneth Roquefort is a force of nature. He can draw anything. Cool. Yeah, he definitely is. Adam got it. It's perfect 10. Yeah, I'm doing a picture of perfect 10. Hojo, it's effing 10. And 80s perfect 10, yeah. Yeah, I've recently, I don't know if you read this comic, Odin, but this is really, really good stuff. And I recommend catching it if it's possible. Let's see if I can show you guys as I get in here with the ink.
Well, if you have, I don't know if you have people in your chat that have wrenches, but if you did.
Yeah, how do I, let me assign somebody a wrench.
Yeah, I actually don't know how that works. Because I don't actually stream, I just go on stream.
Yeah, I have no idea how that works.
I was gonna say, if you did, they could start dropping links for like Perfect 10 and anything that's mentioned. That's always like man, when Felix Haas is in the chat, again, the link.
Yeah.
You just randomly mention somebody, and before you even get the sentence out, he's got the link for their stuff.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see how much of this I can get inked. Hey, here's a question.
Yeah.
How much damage to an original art piece would you consider? Would it have to take for the art piece to be invaluable? Like, for example, if you were to buy an original piece of art, but it's got like, to what extent would you accept like dings and things like that in the art?
I think it. I mean, I wouldn't care, but I wouldn't care too much, especially if I really like the artist. It's like, and if you're talking about something old, it almost makes it cooler. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice. Because I got some pieces that I like to put up for sale, but like for example, like if I were to sell this piece right here, there's something going on, like some orange thing here going on. I mean, I could hide it in digital, but like I don't know what.
I think it gives it character, honestly. Like, if I got a piece, like say, like I bought original art and it was like John Buscema or something. Now, of course, like if it's a big name, it's a different story, of course. But I would think it would be really cool to have like a coffee stain from him.
Oh, nice.
Like, I'm not just getting his artwork; I'm getting like a piece of history. Like he actually accidentally spilled his coffee on this. That's cool.
Yeah. Sweet.
That's me, but I'm kind of a punk rock kind of messy kind of minded person. So I think all the imperfections and things like that are just as cool half the time. So.
Nice.
So like a true buyer of original art might be turned off by that. I would actually be more interested.
Nice. Yeah, 80s is answering my question. It says click the 3 dots next to their name in the YouTube chat and add as moderator. Okay. I thought it's something that had to do on I thought that was something that I had to do on StreamYard. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can make some of these people. I made 80s a moderator. I gave him a wrench.
There you go.
Anybody else want a wrench? Let me know.
80s, you got some responsibility now that you showed him how to do it.
Adam says, I agree. I like to see the coffee stains and stuff in the original art. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, again, especially if it's like some creator you really respect, you're just like, yeah, man, like just that stuff like makes it more authentic and visceral and real,
Okay, nice. I'm gonna start banging up my work now. Start banging it up on purpose.
Well, don't do that.
Make up some stories like, oh yeah, this is the time that I defended this art from an attacking rhino. And,
yeah, it's got some rhino blood on it. No big deal.
And this is the time. This is the time where a guy in a red dress tried to take it. And
yeah, his name was Sugar Chris, of course.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know Sugar like that. I don't want him to get mad at me like that.
Oh well, it's okay. He brings it on himself, so that's why it's funny.
And it says,
some of these things just become like lore, you're like, oh,
nice,
just for the fun of it. But yeah, I did do the Sugar Chris drawing of him in a red dress. So
could you share that with us? Because I don't know what.
Yeah. I know you want to see it. Everybody wants to see this. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Hojo says Frog G has a deal with YouTube. He has every wrench on every channel when they are created. I believe that, yeah. And then 80 says, do an auction, they will sell. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I don't know how good it would work because like shipping from here is a lot, and I don't know if anybody would pay that much, but that could be an idea. And then Pantera says, hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming by. He says, this is awesome, Odin. Sweet.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's Don Noel. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Don.
And Hojo says, I would buy one of Dale Keown's Hulk pieces even if he pissed on it.
Right.
He could even write Hojo has no mojo. Awesome.
Yeah, no, when you really dig somebody's stuff, then oh, Chris, everybody wants to see this. You gotta make it big too, just for the fun.
Yeah, I'm not playing. If you want a wrench, let me know. Apex just says, let me get a wrench. You got a wrench, sir. And 80s, he's got a wrench. I'm gonna Oprah it out. Please sub to the story. We're telling blanket. Nice. Thank you very much, guys, for the support.
Thank you for doing that,
Chris. Nobody wants to see it, Odin.
Too late. All right, you got to make me big.
All right, let's see. Here we are. There it is.
There it is.
Show the picture. Sugar is in timeout.
He says,
no problem, Apex.
I mean, it's a cool thing. You know, he's got the dress on, but you know, he's shooting things up on his West Virginia property there. This moonshine gallon around his neck.
I like it. It's not that bad.
Fairy tales, you know, it's good stuff.
It's not bad.
Yeah, he's just protecting his property. It was J-Bod's stream. He was doing his 50 subs. He was doing a stream for that. Nice. And I didn't know what to draw. I didn't want to work on something that I was actually working on. I just wanted to mess around. So this happened. Sugar Chris, you're welcome, man. I think it's a great start to the Red Shoe Diaries.
The Red Shoe Diaries.
Or, I mean,
that's awesome.
Red Dress Diaries. Sorry.
The Red Dress Diaries. Leandro's here. How you doing, Leandro? What's going on, man? Thanks for.
I'll share this one too. This was this is the last page I drew for Unconditional Shove. Like I said, I don't care about like sharing stuff out. I was happy with this one, and yeah, this is the setup for the next story. Monsters Exist.
Wait, I know this image. You were doing this on that Hangover draw stream you did.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet.
I wrapped it up now, so
yeah, it looks great. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive that you were able to do that hungover.
Well, I was starting to feel better after after a while. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I haven't had a drop since then. I'm like, oh, I gotta slow down for sure. So who knows?
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
You cut loose every once in a while, but
yeah.
And I go, I wish I didn't. And that's when I go, yeah, maybe I'll slow down. I'll slow down.
Let's see. Apex says we had an art auction on Vic King's Vicious Inc. comics channel. Yeah, I'm a subscriber to that.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, so a lot of those. Oh, are you there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I dropped out, I think, for a second. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was reading Apex's comment, and then it just dropped out. But yeah, go ahead. What were we saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like a lot of those, especially like Mortal Kombat, Marvel, Doctor Strange. I've got a ton of images like that the originals I would sell. You know.
Yeah, I would love to put my stuff up for sale. I don't know if people would dig it, would like it, but
yeah, I don't actively try to sell it, but you know, I guess I just throw that out there, like if anyone was interested. But I had I had an art show at a local beer and wine bar that a friend of mine ran, and yeah, and he left all my images up for the entire month. Like every month, he would have a featured artist and just try to sell their originals to the patrons and stuff. Nice. But yeah, they had a big party, and I sold a bunch of prints, but I didn't sell any of the originals because, you know, it's an investment.
They're much more expensive, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't going to give them away for free. I'm like, I'd rather just keep it. But
yeah, do you ever refer back to your own art? Do you ever like draw something like, oh, I like how I drew it that one time, and then I'm gonna draw it again?
Not particularly, except for it's like a character that I have to reference or something. But every once in a while, I look at an old piece of mine and go, "Oh man, why did I forget that trick or something like that?" That was good. I should do that more. But yeah, I don't do it specifically and like pull it out. But
Sweet.
So I will say I've started calling you the Micron Master, man.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Because when you're using those, I'm like, oh, I can't get my line work that good with these pins.
Oh wow! Thank you. That means a lot, man. Appreciate it.
But I do like the. Do you use the Tombow, those Fudenosuke brush pins?
Yeah. It depends on
those are my favorite.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of a line I want, but yeah, right. I use. Here's my Fudenosuke.
Yeah, and, got the exact same one. Yeah, I love those.
These are great.
The hard tip. Well, I saw David Finch do that, and I went, okay, I like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's where I got mine also, and that because I was for the longest I was trying to find a line that because one of my biggest inspirations right now in art, and it has been for the longest time, and it will be for a very long time, is Rob Willis.
Oh yeah,
and I'm a big fan of Rob Willis, and I'm a big fan of how he hatches and how he does his work, and I study his work a lot, and there's a particular way that he does his lines, and I was trying to like emulate with the way that I do it, and I couldn't find I just couldn't execute it. And I was thinking, and that's why I have a certain appreciation for people who use crow quills, people who use brushes, because you get really nice, crisp, clean lines with crow quills and brushes. And one day, I hope to have a steady enough hand to be able to use one. And but yeah, the closest thing that I was able to find to the lines that I was looking for was these Fudenosuke brushes. And
because they naturally have and especially if you put a little pressure at the beginning and then flick.
Yeah, it just works really well for me, and I like using it, and then the flicking that I love doing that, and it comes out great.
Yeah, I love that it's a brush, but it's hard tip, and these things
like a perfect mix. Yeah,
these things are great, and I use it for 90% of all my rendering.
Yeah,
and then definitely. I also use these guys a lot. This is a Pentel pocket brush.
Yeah, I want to get some of those also because filling in blacks. Yeah, it's good for that stuff also.
Yeah, and oftentimes I'll use it for as long as it's not a real super small image. I'll use those for defining shapes because it has a more natural flow to it.
Which one's the brush pen?
The
brush pens, yeah.
Pentel.
Yeah.
But also, it's a like a lesson in having a steady hand.
Yeah.
You just slightly put a little more pressure, and then you got a much thicker line all of a sudden than you wanted.
Yeah, that's why I really have a great admiration for the old school artists like Buscema, for example, that could manipulate his brushes and to the point where like he can give you those kinds of lines almost effortlessly. And for example, someone who always blows me away with Neil Adams, like just his command of inking and his own stuff is just
amazing. Neil Adams is so good, especially young Neil Adams. There was I was showing it on a stream the other day. It was a Savage Sword of Conan that Eden Neil Adams did.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, just looking at him, like, sometimes you're like, I'm nobody, I suck.
I love that Neil knew that about himself. Also, he would just tell other people that they suck.
He was awesome. Brutal.
Yeah, he's like, who I am? I'm fucking Neil Adams. I heard him say that one time. I was like,
well, can't argue with that.
Yeah, you can't. Just take your L like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 says,
thank you, sir.
May I always draw. What happened?
Oh, I said, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah.
The Neil Adams response.
Yeah. 80 says you can always draw a Death Angel. Leandro says light looks good. Apex says I've never drawn hungover before. That can be scary. Yeah. You definitely know that. At least when you do that, you'll know that the art is going to do itself. It'll come out innately.
Okay, so as the day progressed, I became less hungover, but yeah. But I actually stayed away from the drafting table when I was full on like hating life.
Sweet.
That's another thing. Don't drink and draw, but I do it all the time. Probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you can pull it off, no problem, I guess.
Right.
I don't think I could though, but or maybe I could. I don't know. I'll try it one day. Maybe I'll find a solution to that.
Maybe you're like, dang, now I have to be I draw better that way.
Yeah. And
don't make it a crutch though.
No, definitely not. Yeah. And E Ortiz is in the chat. How you doing? What's going on? Good morning, everybody.
Hey, E Ortiz.
And Leandro, he wants to wrench. Give me a second, man. Let me get you a wrench. Give everybody a wrench. Just ask for a wrench. Ask and you shall receive. Yes. Check out Apex. Yes, dropping links. Dropping links.
We have a whole group of plumbers in here.
Yeah.
All these wrenches.
It keeps saying the Vicious Ink channel doesn't exist. I tried it yesterday. I saw his stuff yesterday. Oh yeah, I saw Vic's channel recently. I don't know. Crap. I hope nothing happened to Vic. I love my Winsor and Newton Series 7 Sable brushes. Oh yeah. Those are great. I always keep hearing great things about those. I need to get me some of those.
Yeah, I think also I was always just too lazy to deal with the mess of like ink and having like a cup full of ink and water and paper towels and stuff. I'm like, oh man, it's just so much work.
No, I hear that, but like I don't know. I would like to do like just at least one piece with those old school tools, because man, I don't know.
I think there's also such a learning curve, especially with the crow quills.
Yeah,
that kind of quill inking. It's like there's definitely a learning curve, and I started trying it. I mean, I've tried it several times, and every time I just get frustrated and. I said that sounds horrible, but it's just the truth.
I can imagine. And then Apex says, John Buscema was so darn proficient in pencils and inks. Sal Buscema's inking over John's pencils were superb. I agree. Sal's also an excellent inker.
Yeah, and Buscema was so fast. That's the thing. Like we see his stuff and we're like, man, it's amazing. And you realize like every panel he probably drew in like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
But that guy lived and breathed drawing, like he probably had a pen and paper everywhere he went, probably on a necklace around his neck or something. I mean, he never stopped, because you'd see it on the back of his pages and on the sides and the gutters. Like he was always writing and drawing something,
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah, he's one.
Would you say, Odin, that your parents supported you in your art endeavors?
Oh, for sure.
So there's some parents that, for example, they're not too keen on art, especially like if you can't make a career out of it, they shy away. Not talking to anybody's parents specifically. my parents.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
No. I mean, they were happy that I could draw. No, but like it's not like they would allow me to put art over like a different profession, like or something like that. No, but yeah, they've always shown support for the art in the way that they can. But yeah, I was wondering if you had that similar situation.
No, my parents were super supportive, but they also, my dad was one of those. He just raised me to be really independent. So basically, like he didn't want me to be. So he never really cared what I did. He was like, "Yeah, I raised you good. You do your own thing," and so he didn't really care too much how when I was in high school and stuff, as long as which I didn't, but I was kind of a rebellious brat. But he wanted me to do better. But he never worried that I would follow in his footsteps or anything like that, or be a certain way. But I remember that was like a defining moment when I was young. Was my parents? I was probably 3 or 4. Like the earliest Christmas memory I ever had was opening this box of art supplies, and it was just this huge box, just full of art supplies. And this is the power of suggestion, no joke. I said, "What is this?" And they're like, "Well, you're an artist." And they just kept saying that. They're like, "You're an artist."
Out of nowhere?
Well, yeah, I was kind of like, "Oh, why'd you buy me all this stuff?" or something like that. And I just remember, it's like one of my earliest memories. So it's just stuck in my head that they're like,
"Yeah,
but you're an artist. You're an artist." And so forever after then, I was an artist, So that was yeah, that's the power of suggestion on a young mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Well, hopefully you can carve out a really nice potential, you never know, potential living for yourself, and say, here, art is doing well for me.
Yeah.
So I know you've talked about it, like having your own book.
Yeah.
Is there, can I peek or, just quiz you a bit? Like, what's the deal with that, man? What's the story? What's going
on? And yeah, let's see. I came back. I've been drawing since I was 8. I like drawing things like superheroes and stuff since I was 8. That's the earliest time that I remember like being kind of good at art. And I've always drawn since that time. And but after high school, I stopped drawing, and I was like on like a 10-year hiatus where I just like didn't touch a pencil at all. And I did like a sporadic drawing, but it's nothing like it is now. And then recently, like 3 or 4 years ago, after I've graduated university, I found myself with like a lot of free time because I was studying and doing projects and all the good stuff. And so now when I graduated, I had all this time on my hands and I didn't have to study. And I was like, well, what do I do now? And so like just out of curiosity, I drew a picture first and see what I could make out of it. And the first thing that I tried to tackle back then was like this idea of permanence, because I've always done my pencils, my artwork with just pencils, and I know that over time pencils can fade and it's really difficult to like preserve a piece in pencils. So when I did my drawing, I investigated into how can I preserve my pencils, and then I came across inking. I mean that was to like just so you have an idea of like how much I didn't know back then. Like I didn't know much about inking. I didn't know much of anything that I do now. And so so I went into looking into inks and diving more and more into the world of art again, and so just seeing. And then I came across Twitter. Then I found a bunch of creative people that were doing their own comics, and I was blown away by all that, because growing up in high school, I remember my time in high school. Like, anybody who's ever read a comic has had those conversations where like, oh man, they should make a character that's like this, or they should have this character with this power or whatever. And then people would be like, yeah, I can think of a character that's cooler than Wolverine or cooler than this and cooler than that. And then there's always like artists there's always an artist nearby, and then someone can say, oh yeah, let me draw your idea. And then, people think superficially that you can create a comic. No, then you want to create a comic. And I was one of those kids, and I'm assuming you were also, Odin.
Of course.
And so like, now that I'm an adult and I can do things about it, and I see that there's people actually creating comics, like my first reaction was like, wait, we can actually do this? Like we can actually like put out a comic? I was like, and when I saw that people were doing it, I was like, yeah, man, let me jump on it and let me see if I can throw my hat into the ring and put out a book so I'm working on it. The one thing that I have noticed being exposed to all these creators in CG and just in the indie scene in general is that you can't, like, I don't want to like half-ass it. Like I want to do it as best as I can to my ability.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that I wanted to do was to get better with my art, because my art, I think I've gotten better in the last couple of years that I've been drawing, and I think now I'm ready to take that leap into doing sequential art. Um, and so yeah, I'm working. I'm trying my best to put out a good book, and for me that includes not just art, but it also includes story, and includes like things like pacing, character development, and things like this. And so I want to like learn and read up about this as much as I can before I finish a script for myself. And so yeah, right now I'm in the process of doing that. I'm writing the synopsis for my own book. It's almost finished. I have
nice.
like the last arc to write out, like the ending towards of it. And and yeah, as soon as I get the story done, I'll jump into doing concept art and character sketches, and then after I do that, and then I'll go ahead and start doing some pages. I hope I can do all of this at the beginning of next year. So my plan is, on this channel, I'm going to unveil the name of my comic, a lot of concept art, and give people the rundown of what my comic is about. And then starting next year, like just jump specifically into doing the book. And then as far as like campaigning it, I don't know what I'll do with that. Like I want to have like the book finished, and then see what I can do with it afterwards. But yeah, that's the plan that I have so far. And
That's awesome, man.
yeah,
Well, I think you did a really good job of getting your name out there, getting people excited for your artwork, especially, and
thank you.
Building that, and then also, like you said, growing as an artist. And so I think now that you've done that, kind of like, it's who I am, this is my art style, you're going to have a certain group of people who are just going to be really excited to back whatever you put out.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, man. Here on the screen, this is what I have. This is my main character. This is the only image that I've put out of my own character, and his name is Zadok.
Oh, nice.
And this is the design that I have for him. This is not his permanent design. This character is going to go on a journey. Like I liken it to Luke's journey. Like Luke at the very beginning of Star Wars, he was wearing like white robes and stuff, and then at the end, he's a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
So this is like a similar thing. Like this is what he looks like now, but at the end of the story, he's going to look different than what we see here. And
yeah, I like that.
And so this is what I have so far. And let's see. 80 says, my mother is an artist and made me throw away my comics, told me to get a job, and I would never be an artist.
Well, that's horrible.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, that's.
And Pantera says, my grandpa did the same thing with me when I was 7, gave me books of drawing along with every medium thought of at that time. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. And then Apex says, I loved how Elliot drew my Femme Fatale a few months ago. Great job, Elliot. They were fighting giant robots into the city back. Yeah, thank you very much, Apex. I'm going to show that just right now, actually.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, Apex is putting out a comic. I think it's later this year. At the end of the year, I think, or maybe next year. It's called Femme Fatale, and I did a piece for him.
Well, I like that sound of the title.
Yeah, yes, it's chicks.
Yes,
and they got powers.
I would hope so with that title. It's like a bunch of dudes. Like, wait a minute.
There's no red dresses that I know of in it, but yeah. But this is the piece here. This is the piece.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That was a cool image.
And then this is the character Caracol. I'm not sure if Caracol. I'm not sure if I pronounced her name right. It's Caracal. Got a Caracol. And then this is Mongoose. She's a speedster.
Yeah, Mongoose. Well, I love how she's coming into the battle like that. You do lines over everything. Just kind of like, yeah, it definitely has this feel of like a old school Silver Age comic cover.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then this character up top, this is called Angel Fire, and she's got like angelic powers, and she's wearing a cross on them. Yep. And they're fighting these big robots.
Yeah, those are cool. They're almost like Sentinel.
Yeah. And so this was a fun piece. And yeah, so thank you very much, Apex. And now and yeah. Yeah, that's nice, sweet. Whenever you're ready to promote, Elliot, I'll invite you to promote it on one of my live streams. Yeah, I'll definitely love to jump on Apex after midnight if I can schedule that one day, because late night shows is my weakness. I can't do late night shows at all. That as much as I can in the morning.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, so, I think a lot of people will be excited to promote you. You've doing a lot of work for other creators and shown out, all this different stuff and get people excited on Twitter and everything. So
yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hopefully, you're doing a cool channel here. So.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, and yeah, if the people demand it, then yeah, I have no problem. No problem putting out the book and seeing what would be the best way to do that. Because I have a problem here with fulfilling and stuff like that, because I live in South America, and I don't know how.
Well, there's
how that would affect.
I keep hearing that there's options for like because the majority of the sales are going to be in the United States, it seems.
Yeah.
Having it either printed in the United States and having somebody you could pay to do that fulfillment in the United States.
Yeah.
Because I think there are more options for that. I keep hearing because there's a lot of Australian creators, and that can run in that same problem,
Exactly. Yeah.
How
and then people in UK also. Yeah, and the people in the.
Yeah, for sure.
In the UK,
I mean, that's something everyone's gonna have to deal with, as you have international shipments. But just knowing that there's some options.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll see what happens, because I mean the story that I'm writing is pretty long, and I don't know how long it'll take me to finish it. I don't know how the landscape will look like 4 or 5 years from now when I get the book done. I don't know if Indiegogo is still going to be a thing. If there's maybe like a different site now. I have no idea what any of that will be like. So
yeah.
So but I'll keep my options open to see what's out there.
Well, I know that we're trying to build things over at Broken Compass Comics, so that might be something to consider. Like if you want to release under BCC.
Yeah, definitely. I shut no doors. Yeah,
just a good way to be. Just see what your options are. Like you said, if you're talking like years from now, like you said, the landscape can totally change. You're like, this is how everyone's doing it right now, but it might be a totally different story someday.
And but yeah, I'm really excited to do that book, and yeah, like I was saying earlier when you were mentioning like with the unconditional shove, you do one story and then that's pretty much it, and then you jump onto the next. I have that same idea for this book. Like I'll do this character and flesh him out, do a really good story with him, and then the next one I might do someone different or a different type of thing.
Oh, hey, Courtney.
Good Courtney's here. It's like, yo, bless you. How you been, Odin? Nice.
I've been good. How are you, Courtney? I hope you're doing well.
And yes, that's the idea with the book.
Yeah, no, I totally, obviously agree, man. It's just funner. You can come up with new concepts, new ideas all the time. It's like, yeah, love that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm drinking coffee all morning. I have to go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Let's see. until Odin gets back. That's so you can see what I'm drawing. It says, Fembot will be crowdfunding as a main title with a redux of Femme Fatale #1 as part of a tier to purchase. I'm working on my pre-launch page. Elliot's page will be on the back cover. Sweet. Thanks, Apex. That's awesome. Yeah, also for the people out there in the chat, I'm also doing a piece for King Cryptid. And it's going to be in the book. I got one of those ads. So you're going to see an Elliot piece for King Cryptid in the book. So please be on the lookout for that. Thank you very much, Courtney. I don't know if you talk about me or Odin. Let's see what Odin's doing. And Apex says, hey. So yes, this is a fan art piece of a character. Her name is Perfect 10. And yes. It says, if you like puppet torture, sub to Courtney. And Pale Rider.
Good morning, Pale Rider.
Right, red dress. Is that a red dress emoji? Yeah, no?
Yeah. We already showed the image. Scared Sugar left, I think.
You also. Thank you very much, Courtney. And hey, Pale Rider. Hey, guys. LMAO.
You know, if I wasn't so busy working on my own stuff and like doing all this, like I would totally do just a lot of these like CG characters and independent, like kind of like what you were doing, just like draw characters. I'm like, that would be so much fun.
Yeah. I'm also using it also as an excuse to like work on my inks.
Yeah.
And not lose the feel and the flow of things. Though. And but yeah, Tattooed Biker says puppet torture. So many questions.
Yeah, those questions will be answered. To go visit Courtney's channel.
Definitely. It says, I timed Sugar out. I think he took his ball and went home. Oh, man.
Well, thanks, 80s.
Oh, man. And he's not going to come back to my channel, man. That sucks.
Oh, no, he's fine. He'll just get mad at 80s and me.
Yeah.
That's all right.
This piece I started a while back, actually. And I'm coming back to it like after about a week.
Oh, that's hard.
It looks a lot different than from what I thought it looked.
I have a hard time with that, like coming back to a piece after a while.
Yeah,
I've had mixed results. Sometimes it works, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, I was in a certain groove when I was drawing this, and now I'm in like kind of a different place. And
yeah. It was a pleasure to have you on, Mr. Odin.
Oh yeah, no, my pleasure, man. I've been looking forward to this. I know you hit me up a while back. You know, you were talking about evening streams being your
my kryptonite.
Yeah. Well, like morning streams are like that. Like I can hang out in the chat a lot because you know, I can at my job I can have the YouTube open and watching streams and stuff, and I can chat, you know, while I do my work. But to actually go on streams was hard. So I know you hit me up before, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that I can, you know. And I was like, you know what? I've got a book to promote, and Elliot's cool, so I'm gonna take a day. I had some car repairs I have to do later today, so it worked out pretty well that I could take a day, come hang out with you, and later get some work done on my car.
Sweet. Yeah, I know the morning channel slot is it's a difficult one to get people to come on, but it's the only one that I got. So well, and there's also I've noticed that it's not many there's not a lot of morning streams. So
right,
and some people like every now and then could kick back and watch some art while they're drinking their coffee.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all the morning streams because, like I said, I can watch it at work and works out pretty well for me. Because it's like good. kind of background noise, and then I can chat a little bit too while I'm working.
Definitely. Yeah, I've had a bunch of people come in also while they're at work, just hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, if your job allows for it, then it's
yeah, definitely. And thank you very much, Apex. He says, looking good. Elliot, thank you very much. Courtney says, hi, Elliot. I'm sub now. Thank you very much, Courtney. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And then
Courtney's good people.
That's awesome. Awesome. And Pale Rider says, breaking news. I hacked Sugar's PC and recovered a home video of his Godzilla radioactive child he abandoned. Video soon. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
So that's kind of the thing is, it was a joke that Pale Rider has Sugar's IP.
Wow.
So, yeah. We have to get permission from him to do the Red Shoe Diaries. No, so Sugar's another one who does morning streams. And
yeah, I've seen some of his stuff come on notifications in the morning.
Yeah, so if you're looking for, when you get to that point, you want to go, go on a channel that does morning shows. Yeah, he does the morning roast. Good show. Him and Sim, and sometimes other guests.
Sweet. Yeah, I think it's coming along pretty good. I want to invite you on a morning stream. Says Apex, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Hades is laughing. He's busting out laughing.
Yeah.
Sweet. Apex says I made a morning show live stream yesterday, and we're 10 people in the chat. Sweet. Sounds like good numbers, man.
Well, I'm kind of looking for shows to promote on and go on. So Apex, if you ever, I'd be down, man. So I dig his stuff as well.
Yeah, Apex has been around a long time. We did a piece, him and I, for a comic called Tales of Zero. I don't know if Apex remembers but Tales of Zero was a comic. It's the first comic campaign that I was involved in, and I did the cover for that book.
Yeah.
And and then the creator mysteriously disappeared.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay with him, but
yeah.
But he disappeared. I don't know why.
What was it called again?
Tales of Zero.
Tales of Zero.
I don't know. I don't want to think that it was a scamming type of thing, but I mean, if it was, I mean, I don't think he was a lot on the campaign, but I mean, regardless, I mean, if there's even 2 or 3 backers or 1 backer, you have to respect the backers and make sure they get their book. But this guy's been
or at least an explanation, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he just fell off the map. I have no idea where he's at.
Well,
but I hope he's doing okay.
Hopefully, he wasn't kidnapped by the cartel or something.
Yeah, hopefully not. But yeah, Apex did a wraparound cover on that campaign, and that was the first time I heard of Apex, and this stuff was really good. And I did one of the covers also.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd say I'd check it out, but anyway.
Don't check it out. No.
Don't check it out. Well, mostly just to see your guys' artwork.
Yeah. That could be a marketing strategy itself. No, don't check out this book. People still check it out.
That's true. I remember when I was young, the band Primus would do stuff like that. They had like bumper stickers that said, Primus sucks.
Don't come to our shows.
Don't go to our shows, yeah.
Let's see. I have a few minutes, Mr. Odin, and I have to keep going.
Yeah, no worries. I was kind of like, hey, as long as you want to keep going, I can keep drawing. I gotta draw anyway. I do have to do like car repair stuff later, but I'm like, oh, the longer I can put that off, the better.
yeah, definitely.
No, but I'm here whenever, however long you want to go. And
sweet.
You just say the word and we'll wrap it up.
Sweet. Yeah, normally go for like about an hour, but drawing sometimes people like that, and I don't do as many draw streams as I would like. So
right,
let's make the most of it.
I always found that interesting that so many people, especially even non-artists, dig the draw streams, but it's like to see how things come together. Like I guess I get that.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by that stuff. Like I like watching professionals how they do their process. I like watching live streams, seeing how other artists do their
for sure
do their art, and you always learn something. There's always something that somebody does that you never thought of, and it adds to the repertoire.
Well, I think you and I talked about this in a chat one time, but Jim Lee's channel, some of the stuff just blew me away, and I think also because I grew up with him, thinking Scott Williams and Jim Lee were one person almost, and seeing him ink his own stuff is like a revelation. You're like, oh man, this guy's wild, he would do some crazy stuff. Because I remember one time he was drawing I forgot her name again, the T-Titan girl with the cloak.
Raven.
And he had some like power that he was trying to draw, but he drew on his hand, in whiteout like a symbol, and then he like smushed it down on the page. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Wow. I would have never thought to do something like that.
With ink or whiteout?
It was whiteout. Yeah, it's just white ink. He just like drew a symbol on his hand and then smushed it down over some black, and it just kind of like created this like magic, like rune type symbol. It was cool, man. But again, I just always pictured Jim Lee like so clean, and then when you watch him like ink his own stuff, he's wild. He's like throwing white out here, and like just like big blotchy brush strokes and stuff.
Yeah, that was also a nice revelation when I found out it was Scott Williams who was the clean one.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Well, if you ever go back and look, Jim Lee did some Punisher stuff and some Wolverine stuff where he inked himself.
Yeah.
Back in the day before he started working on X-Men, and you can see some of his. He was still really clean because it was, Marvel production quality, I guess. But yeah, you could see that it's different than when Scott Williams inked him.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott Williams is another master that always impresses.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He kind of, in my opinion, he changed how comic rendering looks.
Yeah, no? Yeah. He's one of those,
as much as anybody.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what the chat's saying. It says, Apex, what's your channel link? Make sure I'm subbed. Yeah, Apex, drop it in there so people can sub to your stuff, man. And
yeah, for sure.
Odin, I will invite you in on the morning stream. Sweet.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah, anytime. Hit me up. We'll set something up. I'd be privileged. I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, definitely. And then that creator could be stuck. Pale Rider says that creator could be stuck in Sugar's lotion pit. That's what he's talking about.
I think he's talking about that guy who kind of bailed and he haven't heard anything from him.
Yeah.
the lotion pit is a reference to Silence of the Lambs.
The dress. Oh, yeah. I got you. And Parrot says, I tracked down Sugar's new girlfriend. She is indeed real and doesn't run on batteries either. Oh, wow.
Well, that's good for Sugar. Good for Sugar.
Yeah, nice.
I'll assume the worst.
Says, And then Apex says, yes, Elliot, I remember drawing a 14-page Ashcan. Yeah, I remember he had an Ashcan on that. Yeah, that's right. And I hope, Purple Smurf can come back wraparound cover was cool, and he loved my Hopefully it comes back. It'd be nice. He was a cool guy. And then Courtney says, Odin, I sent you DMs. You don't need to check it now. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I will check it out later, Courtney.
Sweet. And then Pale Rider says sub and bell ring. Thank you, Pale Rider. I hope, is that my check? Is that mine or Apex? But thank you. Either way, thank you for both those channels.
Well, I would say he should do both.
Yeah, do both.
And my channel as well.
And Odin's channel also. Odin, you have a channel also?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I had no idea. I'll put that in the description.
Yeah.
Or somebody can wrench it out. Would be nice. And
yeah,
Apex says,
he could throw it in there.
Yeah. Apex says, I remember Tales of Zero. I hope Purple can fulfill those books. I bought the black and white plus the ash can. Yeah, I got the main one also. Thanks, Pale Rider. Oh yeah, sweet. All right, so I'm gonna close the stream down for in a little bit. This is what I got done. This is a fan art piece of Perfect 10. I still have the gun. Cool, I still have to do something about this hair. I'm not sure what to do yet, and I got to do this other part. And I'm not going to leave the page like this because it looks pretty. It looks pretty bland because it's just a character. Hopefully, I'll do something in the background here, but you guys will see it.
Well, I can't stop seeing that orange dot now that you pointed it out.
Yeah, you see it here, no? Here.
Yeah.
All these places. Yeah, I'll probably just.
No,
it's even worse down here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what.
What happens? Are you like eating Cheetos or something?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea where it came from. Might be some kind of sticker or residue from some. I don't know. It might be my daughter's Play-Doh. I have no idea. I have no idea what that.
Yeah, it's dangerous having young kids around when you're trying to make art.
Yeah, definitely. And that's Odin. That's what he's working on. The next page of Unconditional Shove. And don't forget that the link for the mailing list is in the description. Please be sure to sign up, and you can get a free trading card if you sign up and if you back.
Yes.
Just to make that clear, you have to sign up and back.
Yeah.
And
and that's just for the early signups, and then like I said, I might do something really cool for like the first 50 or something like that. But which we're already past 50, which is awesome. I'm really, really glad so many people are signing up. But yeah, so real quick, also this was for the Cole book that I was working on, and this one here was for Unconditional Shoves. So yeah, got two irons in the fire right now. The Cole book is a project called Out of Obscurity, and that's the public domain characters, and so that's going to be a fun one. Awesome. So yeah, subscribe to me follow me on Twitter, sub to my channel. You'll hear news on all of these things and all things coming up. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so please be sure to check out Odin on all his social media. I'm going to update it in the chat, in the description, because I only have Twitter, but I'll put the YouTube and the Instagram on there also. And please sign up for the mailing list. And then you can catch me. My name is Elliot Rodriguez, as you can see here. And yeah, I do weekly shows next week. I don't know if I have a guest or not, but if not, it'll just be me. Hopefully, I could probably work on this on Wednesday. And then I'll just kick it. And then... and that's it. So please like, subscribe, and share. And
the Cheetos Kirby Crackle. Sorry.
There you go. Cheetos Kirby Crackle. I might do something with that. Yeah.
Why don't you get Apex on? I bet he'd come on.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll see who can I get on. And yeah, so please be sure to tune in. I do this show weekly, and I'll do it again next week. So that's it. Thank you very much. You guys have a great one.
Thanks, Elliot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And we're out.